Hello, everybody. It's Dominic here, and I've got Ric Ptak as a guest today. We're going to do another dragon's egg. Ric's going to probably briefly explain what a dragon's egg here is in a minute if you don't already know. What a great visual, dragon's eggs. And today we're going to be talking about the only four things that everybody needs to be doing in the company at any given time. Ric has boiled it down to four essential things. I hope you get a lot out of this. Let's get to the episode. Ric Ptak, how are you?
Dom, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
I think at this point, if people don't know who you are, this is their first episode ever.
Well, that's okay.
That's okay.
It has to be a first for everything, right? So
today might be their first. Today might be their first. But you know what? Just the other day, you introduced a new concept called dragon's eggs. In terms of, finding places to fix your business. And
yes.
Maybe just give us 2 seconds on dragon's eggs and then we'll jump into today's topic, just in case somebody's brand new to this dragon's eggs concept.
So the concept really is, and it's not even something I've coined. I sort of picked it up in my travels.
It's yours now, Ric. Everybody thinks you made it up.
It's mine now. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's about being proactive. It's about taking care of things when they're small. So if you can imagine you were in medieval times, you are a knight and you're protecting the kingdom from the fire-breathing dragon. Yeah. Or dragons, or maybe more than one. You kill one and then you've got another one coming. So imagine if you could take care of the dragon's eggs. So before they hatched and became dragons, you could deal with the eggs and they never became dragons. So that's really what taking care of your dragon's eggs means. It's being proactive, dealing with something when it's small, not a big issue. And that way it doesn't grow into something that you can't handle. Or it's difficult to handle it without a lot of additional resources.
Yeah, like killing a big fire-breathing dragon. Why not go and do something with the eggs? And we'll just leave "do something" in air quotes.
Well, cook them for breakfast, whatever. It doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah. So listen, today you wanted to talk about there's four things everybody in your company needs to be doing. And tell me, is this from a leadership perspective, a management perspective? What lens are we looking through when you say this?
Well, the lens is really from a point of view of efficiently running your business, efficiently and effectively running your business. And so every employee, from the owner right down to the floor sweeper, the truck driver, the delivery person, people out on job site,
installers,
doesn't matter. Front end staff, project managers, engineers, customer service, all those things. There's really only four things that every employee should be working on.
All right.
And they're in no particular order: quality, safety, production, and keeping costs down.
Okay, so quality, safety, production, and keeping costs down. You can see I'm taking
costs in check. Always thinking about not putting a lot of additional costs in something. So of course we don't want to have overtime. We don't want to have rework. We want to do things right the first time so that we don't have to do them again, because we don't have time to do them. We barely have enough time to do them right the first time. And if you have to do them again, then where are you borrowing that time from?
Yeah. Now, Ric, I always call you a foreman's foreman. Like you come from the woodshop industry. You grew up in the trade. You started as an apprentice, and then you went on to, I think you became a production manager of a very large facility.
Yes.
But everything in between, small facility to big facility. But what was your saying about doing it wrong versus doing it right?
Well, you have all kinds of time to do it right the second time. No time to do it right the first time, but you have lots of time to do it right the second time. So, if the customer complains, and now we've got to fulfill that, and we've got to meet schedules, and we don't want them to give us too bad of a reference, right? We want to kind of salvage the relationship. Now you're going to throw all kinds of resources at it, materials, manpower, whatever the case may be to get that thing fixed, to get that quality issue fixed. So, you know, if we weren't paying attention to one of the four things, quality, then we definitely have to do it now the second go around, right? So,
Yeah.
and so, you know, this is what we focus on for the foreman and leadership training, is we spend a whole section of time talking about those four things that are important to be working on. So, I mean, you know, you're not going to be doing things outside those four things.
Right. Yeah, the whole foreman training that you run is about shining a light on the leadership question. Right?
Yeah.
Shining a light on that. And I guess the simplicity of coming, you know, I'm thinking now as an owner, trying to help my floor supervisor, my foreman, my sub-assembly leads, maybe my lead installer, keep it simple, keep it down to the basic elements. This is a real nice list, because you know that the only four things that everything boils down to is, I'm quoting you here, Rick, the famous man, what Ric Ptak once told me: quality, safety, production, and keeping costs down.
Yeah.
But you could loop everything back to that.
Well, a lot of things filter into those, right? Some people will give me other things, and we can always relate them back to one of those four. Those are the four main headings, you know. So, and I work with folks, you know, we install huddle boards where they huddle together the workers, right, and spend 5 minutes every day. And that's basically the agenda. Those four things are the agenda items that you talk about at the 5-minute daily huddle. And you focus in on those things, and you talk about the last 24 hours. You know, what was any safety concerns over the last 24 hours that we need to talk about, things to improve our processes with safety. Same thing with quality. We talk about production. You know, what in the last 24 hours did we hit our production targets, our daily KPIs? You know, that was Dragon Egg number 1. This is Dragon Egg number 2. If you're for those folks who were listening. And then, you know, keeping costs down, or just how do we make improvements? How do we do it better so that, given the same set of circumstances, we don't do it the way that it just happened, that we don't like? That's not one of our best practices.
Yeah. Now, these four things are only a small subset of the foreman training that you run, right? Where in the whole scope of that, how many weeks of training?
It's a 6-week, 1 hour a week. So, you know, we spend one session, one hour, we spend part of that hour on these four things and how they relate to other things. And we tie everything together so it has an understanding. Because what we really want to do is build the leadership and supervisory skills for those individuals that are enrolled in the course, really, right? We want to hone their skills and give them some tools in their tool belt to deal then with things that crop up in everybody's business, you know, whether that's on the production floor, whether that's on a construction site, whether that's up front in the service related part of the business, which is, you know, the whole sales, marketing, and engineering and project management, and then feeding all that information down to the production floor or to the job site. You know, that's important that all that is working together as a unit.
Well, anybody listening that's interested in joining us in the foreman training, there's an information session coming up soon. And if you're interested in joining us for the info session, send a text message to me. My mobile number is 604-837-8361. And the keyword, what's the keyword we're using for this, Rick?
Well, foreman works.
Yeah, just send me the keyword foreman, and then Rick and I will send you back an application form. The application's important. You know, it's a closed call. You have to be invited to the call for a couple of reasons. One, we want to make sure you and your foreman or your supervisors are all in this meeting together. The meeting's free, by the way. The meeting is free. We need you and your foreman, I'm just going to keep calling your foreman, bought in mentally before we talk about what obviously there's a registration fee, but unless your foreman is into it, this isn't going to work.
No, right? You have to have the intent that you want to, you know, learn something and invest in that training. You know, I call it an investment, because then you can take that and you'll get a return on that investment if you apply the principles that are taught and apply the tools and practice what we do in the course.
Yeah. Well, so come and join us for the information session, folks. If you like, shoot me a text, 604-837-8361, and the magic word is foreman, and then you get a magic application back. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dom.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well. Thanks, Rick, for giving us that nice summary of the the latest dragon's egg, which is, the only 4 things that everybody needs to be doing in your company. And in case you didn't catch this, you're walking the dog and now you're back home and you've got a chance to take notes. The 4 things are quality, safety, production, and keeping costs down. Everything can be boiled back to those. And I love simplicity. So, I love this particular system. I can just imagine some of you making posters and talking to your foreman about it and having it, somewhere on their desk, somewhere on their cork board, as it were, like as a sign. Just remind them it always comes down to those 4 things. And the more that you reinforce that, the simpler the business becomes. And simple businesses are easy to run and profitable. That is good to know, right? All right, folks, thanks for checking in. And listen, if you do want to be part of the information call, shoot me a text message, 604-837-8361. And the keyword is foreman. Then we'll send you the application to the call. All right, thanks.